Mercedes has revealed the drama over Lewis Hamilton's seat at the start of the Emilia Romagna Grand Prix was due to his own decision to lower his position in the car just minutes before the start of the race. On a shortened race weekend where teams had just 90 minutes of practice before qualifying and the race, Hamilton had initially chosen to raise his seat for better visibility, but changed his mind after making his way to the grid. Mercedes Trackside engineering director Andrew Shovlin revealed Lewis had lifted his seat a bit for free practice. He kept that for qualifying, and on the laps to the grid he decided he'd like to try dropping it down again. We made that adjustment. We got in the car and he pressed the brake pedal. There was a bit of movement in the seat, so the guys just jumped Lewis out, pulled the seat out, and we were checking everything was tight. The situation looked dramatic as a Mercedes team member was seen running to the grid with a spare seat, but Shovlin explained it was all in hand and it was simply a precaution in case the original seat could not be fixed back in place. However, he did admit that teams were less well prepared than normal ahead of the Imola race after losing 2.5 hours of practice time as Formula 1 trialled a new shorter race weekend format. He admitted the shorter race weekend format was a bit of pressure and explained it's possible to get most of the information that you need, but you can't do as good a job as normal. Fitting all the normal work, high fuel, low fuel, into one session is difficult. It's always going to be a bit of a compromise, but it looked like most people did broadly the same thing. You haven't got time to be making big changes because the more you're in the garage, the less you're out there learning. It's a good challenge. It means you go into the race less well prepared, with more unknowns, but it's quite a nice format. Lance Stroll has hit a horrible patch of form since his podium at Monza, and a dismal weekend at Imola seems to show things aren't going to get any better in the short term, with just 4 races remaining. Confidence with the car looks as though it's hit rock bottom as the Canadian aims to break a 5-race duck on Formula 1's return to Istanbul Park for the Turkish Grand Prix. But while there is no question the rough patch has been influenced by his feeling unwell since Sochi and the drama around his positive COVID test, there could actually be another reason: Nico Hülkenberg. Stroll's absence in Germany allowed Nico Hülkenberg to get back behind the wheel of the Racing Point, having substituted for Sergio Perez earlier in the year, and in his 3 outings, 2 at Silverstone, 1 at the Nürburgring, although he did not start one of the Silverstone races, he scored 1 7th and 1 8th. Without those 10 points, the team would be adrift in 6th in the championship instead of being right in the mix with rivals Renault and McLaren. But it's not Hülkenberg's influence at the racetrack that could be seen to have caused the problems, it's his involvement behind the scenes.